Hello, and welcome to Book 3, Chapter 1 of You Should Be Reading. This week, I would like to talk to you today about Free Fall by William H. Keith. This is the first novel in published, put out by Fantasy Flight Games. Uh, yep, put out by them, based on their Android Netrunner universe series. There's actually a board game called Android, then Android Netrunner, then Android Infiltration came out, all set in the same high-tech, cyberpunky, futuristic universe. And these novels are also set in that universe. There's this one and four others, all of which I have read, all of which I enjoy. I'll probably be talking about the other ones, but this one today is the first. And the reason why I say it's the first is not only because it was the first one printed, but it's because this one acts almost like an introduction to the universe itself, to the world as it stands in the far-flung future. Um, Basically, the way it's set up, the way this all is about. This takes place on Earth, specifically in the city of New Angeles, which is located in Ecuador, but is still part of the United States. See, the United States bought the land in Ecuador so that one of the major corporations, the Wayland Corporation, um, could build a space elevator, which is basically what it sounds. This is a literal elevator which goes from the surface to a planetoid orbiting the Earth. But how? Well, it uses science and some theoretical physics and whatnot, and high-tech metal in a type of a weave, because it kind of undulates back and forth. It's almost like a net more than a stable solid object, but it's kind of interesting. And there's hackers, there's androids, because naturally the name of it being android, two different types of androids specifically. There's clones, which are the sole property of the Genteki Corporation. They're all about the cloning, human clones. And then there is the bioroids, which are uh, kind of robotic humanoids who they basically take copies of a person's brain and stick it into a bioroid. It's not a real artificial intelligence. It's one programmed off of the copy of a human mind. Makes it easier. And these are the type of androids that are in here. And that's important because of what this story is all about. This is pretty much a detective story. That's right. Straight up noir-ish style cyberpunk detective story. Have you seen Blade Runner? If you've seen Blade Runner, this will seem intimately familiar to you just because of the setting and everything going on. The main character in this one is a captain of detectives, Rick Harrison of the New Angeles Police Department. He gets called in on a case. Um, he very reluctantly accepts it, unfortunately, because it happens in a very high-class hotel on the planetoid that's orbiting the Earth that the space elevator is not exactly connected to, I don't think. I believe it's the secondary base. But yes, it's out there. This big hotel, this rich fellow, lawyer, an influential lawyer, he's murdered up in this hotel, supposedly by a bioroid. But bioroids are incapable of harming humans. It's built into their programming. Kind of like the three laws of robotics from Isaac Asimov, I Am Robot, all that good stuff. He gets brought in to investigate this, and there's a big conspiracy all about it, going into detail. He's running afoul of, yes, I hear you. See, he's telling me to hurry up and get through this. Uh, but yes, there's all kinds of fun gritty detective stories. Some interesting plays on uh, traditional detective work because they kind of delve into the science behind everything and how easy it is to spy on people, how easy it is for the detectives to be able to just walk in and be like, doop, 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 clean up every little bit of DNA, literally in a crime scene, and just pull it all out and analyze it back at the lab. I mean, really high-end CSI stuff. But the whole the whole genre is very much steeped in cyberpunk, very much Neuromancer and Blade Runner. Like I said, it's very similar to a lot of that, but it has its own thing, has its own theme and its own story, especially because it's connected to the Netrunner game. And there's a lot of backstory, a lot of world building going on in that game, and it shows here. There's also a wonderful reporter by the name of Lily Lockwell, who is Mr. Detective Harrison's on again, off again love interest, and some fun things happen there. I'm not going to spoil a lot of things. I don't want to spoil the ending of it, but it is a very good cyberpunk noirish uh, crime drama type book. If you love your crime drama, if you liked any of those movies that I mentioned, you will probably like this. You can find this on Fantasy Flight's website. You may even be able to find it in bookstores. I don't know if a lot of the high-end bookstores carry this. I ordered my copies directly from their website, fantasyflightgames.com. So you can check that out. But yes, definitely worth the time to read. It's not a very hard read. There's some terminology that they do explain in the book. Maybe not right away, but they do explain all the terminology pretty much. Um, it's not necessary to know the game or know anything else about the universe because this is, like I said, more or less the introduction to it all. It deals heavily around that whole space elevator heading up into the sky. So yes, this week, you should be reading Freefall by William H. Keith. And I'll see you next time.